Most men miss this moment. There is a moment in every connection where the air feels different. Nothing obvious has changed. The conversation still flows. The smiles are still there. The environment looks the same. But something underneath the surface shifts. The energy becomes thicker. The eye contact lingers half a second longer. The space between you feels charged rather than neutral. Most men miss this moment. They look for loud signals, clear invitations, direct words. But desire rarely announces itself boldly. It reveals itself subtly, through psychology, through body language, through emotional shifts that speak louder than sentences ever could. If you truly want to understand when a woman wants intimacy with you, you have to stop listening only with your ears and start observing with emotional awareness. Because intimacy does not begin in the bedroom, it begins in safety, it begins in tension, it begins in permission. And when those three elements align, the signs become clear. Not obvious to the desperate, not visible to the distracted, but undeniable to the grounded. There are three clear signs. They are not tricks. They are not manipulations. They are psychological openings. And when you understand them deeply, you stop guessing and start knowing. The first sign is this: she allows emotional vulnerability in your presence. Physical intimacy never comes before emotional permission. Even in the most confident and expressive women, desire intensifies when safety exists. If she begins sharing deeper thoughts, personal fears, past experiences, insecurities, or dreams she does not casually discuss with everyone, that is not random conversation. That is emotional access. And emotional access is intimate. When she lowers her guard around you, when her voice softens, when her posture relaxes, when she maintains eye contact during vulnerable moments instead of looking away, her nervous system is signaling trust. Trust is the gateway to desire. Psychologically, intimacy requires safety. A woman does not lean into physical closeness with someone she does not feel emotionally safe around. Her body protects her if her mind feels uncertain. So if she opens up to you in a way that feels deeper than surface level banter, if she confides in you, if she seeks your emotional reassurance, she is not just connecting platonically. She is bonding. Bonding creates attachment. Attachment increases desire. And when she feels understood rather than judged, accepted rather than analyzed, her attraction grows quietly but powerfully. You will notice something else. When she shares something personal, she watches your reaction carefully, not nervously, but attentively. She is measuring your emotional maturity. She is asking without words, "Can I trust you with my softness?" If you respond calmly, confidently, without overreacting or trying to fix everything, she feels grounded in your presence. Grounded presence makes her body relax. Relaxation creates warmth. Warmth opens the door to physical closeness. The second sign is this: she initiates proximity and touch in subtle ways. Attraction always moves toward closeness. If she finds reasons to sit closer than necessary, if her knee brushes yours and she does not immediately pull away, if she touches your arm while laughing and lets her hand rest a fraction longer than normal, these are not accidents. These are invitations. Touch is the most honest language of desire. Words can hide, bodies do not. When she angles her body toward you, even in group settings, when her feet point in your direction, when she leans in instead of leaning back, her subconscious is aligning physically with what she feels emotionally. And here is the deeper psychological layer. When someone desires intimacy, their brain releases dopamine and oxytocin during small moments of connection. That chemical reward system reinforces proximity. So she instinctively seeks small touches because they feel good emotionally. You might notice her adjusting your collar playfully. You might notice her hugging you tighter than usual. You might notice her resting her head on your shoulder without hesitation. These gestures are comfort combined with tension. Comfort alone is friendship. Tension alone is fleeting attraction. but comfort plus tension signals intimacy building. If her touch feels warm, intentional, and sustained rather than quick and detached, that is a sign. And pay attention to this detail. When you lightly pull back, does she lean back in? When you pause, does she close the distance? That response tells you everything, because desire does not retreat from closeness. It seeks it. The third sign is this: her eye contact changes. Eyes reveal what lips conceal. When a woman wants intimacy with you, her gaze shifts from casual to intentional. She holds eye contact during pauses in conversation. She looks at your lips while you speak. She glances away slowly instead of quickly. There is a difference between friendly eye contact and intimate eye contact. Friendly eye contact breaks often. It is light and social. Intimate eye contact lingers. It feels charged. It creates silence without discomfort. If she looks at you during quiet moments and does not rush to fill the silence, that is tension. Tension is the space where desire grows. Psychologically, prolonged eye contact increases heart rate and stimulates emotional bonding. It mirrors the sensation of closeness that happens during intimate moments. That is why it feels powerful. If you notice her pupils slightly dilate when she looks at you, if her breathing slows when your faces are close, if she smiles softly without speaking, those are physiological signs of attraction. And when you combine all three signs, vulnerability, proximity, and intense eye contact, the message becomes clear. She feels safe. She feels drawn. She feels ready for closeness. But here is what most men misunderstand: seeing the signs is not enough. How you respond determines whether attraction deepens or disappears. If you rush physically without maintaining emotional steadiness, she pulls back. If you hesitate completely out of fear, tension dissolves. The key is balance. When she opens emotionally, stay grounded. When she initiates touch, reciprocate gently. When her eye contact lingers, hold it calmly. Do not break the moment nervously. Do not overpower it aggressively. Let it build. Intimacy grows in patience. When she feels that you are confident but not forceful, attentive but not desperate, present but not overwhelming, her desire intensifies. Because she feels both safe and excited. Safety makes her open. Excitement makes her lean in. And leaning in is the beginning of physical intimacy. There is another layer that goes even deeper. When a woman wants intimacy, her energy softens. Her voice becomes quieter around you. Her movements slow slightly. She may mirror your posture unconsciously. If you lean back, she leans back. If you tilt your head, she does too. Mirroring is a subconscious bonding behavior. It signals alignment. Alignment signals attraction. You might notice she laughs a little longer at your jokes. You might notice she remembers small details about you and brings them up unexpectedly. You might notice she asks questions that are more personal than casual. All of this builds emotional closeness before physical closeness ever begins. And when the emotional tension becomes strong enough, physical intimacy feels natural rather than forced. Understand this deeply. Intimacy is not about convincing someone. It is about recognizing readiness. If she seeks your presence repeatedly, if she finds excuses to be alone with you, if she creates scenarios where physical closeness is easy, those are conscious choices guided by subconscious desire. She wants the opportunity, but she still wants you to lead with awareness. That is why confidence matters. Confidence says, I see you. Calmness says, I respect you. Presence says, I am here with you fully. When you embody those qualities, her attraction feels safe enough to expand. And when attraction expands, intimacy follows. So if you are ever unsure, do not ask yourself if she said the right words. Ask yourself this: does she open emotionally? Does she move closer physically? Does she hold your gaze with softness and intensity? If the answer is yes to all three, the door is open. Not loudly, not aggressively, but clearly. And the most powerful thing you can do is move slowly, confidently, and intentionally into that space. Because intimacy is not sparked by pressure, it is ignited by understanding. When you truly understand the psychology behind her signals, you stop guessing, you stop overthinking, you stop forcing moments, and instead, you respond to what is already unfolding naturally. That is attractive, that is mature, that is magnetic, and that is how you recognize when a woman wants intimacy with you without her ever having to say the words.